Welcome to the Christian Success Show, the show that helps you achieve more success in every area of your life. I'm your host, Wes Young. Thank you for joining me today. The Christian Success Show is brought to you by Christian-Success.com. Visit Christian-Success.com to join the community and check out the special $7 deals designed to help you achieve big success in specific areas of your life. If you want personal help achieving more success, you can find out how to work with the top Christian life, success, and business coach and consultant at Christian-Success.com/coach. Now, let's get started with today's show. Today's show is make more than you spend and avoid debt. And this is really the secret to financial success. If you look at anyone that has achieved financial success in any form or in any way, they've learned how to make more than they spend, and for the most part, they've avoided debt. Now, there are a few ways to financial success that do involve debt, but for most people, the secret is avoiding as much debt as possible. And we'll get into the reason why you avoid as much debt as possible as we go through today's show. But remember, this is really the secret to financial success, and that's to make more than you spend and avoid debt. Now, there's two ways to do this. And a lot of people make the mistake of focusing only on what they spend. They try to cut corners and they try to spend less and they try to live more frugally. And while there's nothing wrong with that, I think that it's more important that you focus on how much you make and make more. Figure out ways to make more money so that you can out-earn what you spend. And that's one reason why I talk so often about starting a side business to increase your income. Now, as you do that, as you increase your income, you shouldn't increase your spending along with it. You need to create the gap. Most of us work exactly the opposite. We end up spending everything we make or more. We might even go into debt to spend more than we're making, and this creates a lot of problems. But I want to go back to the key, and it's in the title of this show: make more than you spend and avoid debt. I worded it that way on purpose because if you can make more money, then you can afford to spend more, but you still need to continuously work on the gap. The bigger the gap is between what you make and what you spend, the more money you can save and invest and use to make more money, to use your money to work for you, whereas debt works against you. You need to lock in your spending. You do need to take a look at everything you're spending and see if there are places where you're spending money where you don't have to, or you're wasting money. And you should reduce those things. And then you need to lock in your spending. You need to work on ways to make more money while maintaining your current level of spending. And focus on that gap and make the gap bigger and bigger. And don't start spending more money until you've got a much larger gap where you're making a lot more than you're spending. And then when you start spending a little more money, make sure you keep a constant eye on it and on the gap between what you make and what you're spending. And that way you can enjoy some of the extra money you're making, but without it costing you all the money in the gap. And once again, one of the best ways to get started, no matter where you are on your income or your spending at this time, is to find a good side business to start adding some money to your income, to start making more. Some of the side businesses I talk about are becoming a freelance writer, starting a website or a blog, start doing some consulting or some coaching on the side, start a speaking business, an affiliate business, things like that. Start an information marketing business. These are all great ways to start a side business that you have time to do while doing the work you're currently doing and increasing your income. I did a show recently that you should listen to if this is something you're interested in, about the Jim Rohn 70-10-10-10 method. And basically what Jim Rohn teaches is learn how to live on 70% of your income, give away 10%, invest 10%, and then use 10% for what he calls commerce, which is starting a business or starting a side business or buying a product and improving it and reselling it for a profit. I've also read other things. In one of Dan Kennedy's books, he talks about learning to live on 80% of your income, saving 10%, and giving 10% away. Basically, these are the same types of concepts that help you learn how to make more than you spend. And as you make more, you can invest more, and you can invest more in things that return interest, like the stock market or CDs, things like that, and or you can invest more in commerce or businesses or a side business to grow their income more. The way to get started is to start tracking every penny that you have coming in and every penny you have going out. And this is important in business, but it's probably even more important in your personal life. Most of us don't realize where all of our money's going because we'll spend a few bucks here or a few bucks there, and it all adds up. If you spend $5 on a cup of coffee every day, that's $150 a month, when you could make coffee at home for a small fraction of that. And it's okay if you want to buy a coffee for $5. I'm not saying it's not if you can afford to do it. But if you don't track every penny you have coming in and every penny that's going out, you won't even know where all of your money's going. Now, let's talk about debt and what that does. When you take on debt, it forces you to work more to service that debt. Maybe you have a house payment or a car payment or credit card payments. Every month, a percentage of the time you work is spent paying that debt. And that's why it's important to avoid debt. If you're in debt, try to figure out how to get out of debt. Work towards getting out of debt. And then try not to take on any more debt. Because every time you take on more debt, it forces you to work more, and it steals some of the freedom and some of the income you have. And it lowers the gap between what you're making and what you're spending. The Bible says the borrower is the servant to the lender. Basically, that means what I just said. When you borrow money, you have to service that loan. You have to pay back the money you borrowed plus interest, and you're a servant to that loan. So figure out how to eliminate that. And even better, figure out how to get on the other side of that equation. Figure out how to be the lender. And I'm not talking about, you don't necessarily have to start a bank or lend money, but when you invest money for a rate of return, and let's take just a simple CD at a bank. I know they don't pay a lot of interest, but let's say you can get in a CD and it pays 2% interest. What you're basically doing is you're lending your money to the bank, and they're paying you back what you lended them plus 2% interest. That's the type of lender. Or maybe you invest in secure bonds or things like that. These are all forms of lending and being on the proper side of that equation. Instead of being a borrower, figure out how you can be a lender. Make your money work for you. There's a lot of different ways you can make money work for you. One is earning interest, like we were just talking about. Another is you can invest in a business. You can start a business, and the money you're putting in there, you're trying to make it successful, so you get a return bigger than your investment. Commerce, like I mentioned before. Maybe you find some products you can buy, you can improve the products, and you can sell them for more. This is a form of investing and making your money work for you. Do you need to spend the bare minimum? Well, the truth is, you don't have to live like a pauper to make this work for you. You should Avoid spending money needlessly, but you also need to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Hopefully, you're able to find success and to make good money and make a lot more than you spend, so you can enjoy some of the money that you have coming in by spending it. But don't spend it all. Keep an eye on the gap between how much you make and how much you spend. Focus on earning more, because the truth is you can earn more. I suggest making most of your focus, 90% of your focus, on figuring out how to earn more. Yes, spend 10% of your focus on figuring out how to spend less, because that's important too. But if you can out-earn your spending, then you still have the gap you're looking for. Now, what do you do if you're in debt and currently spending more than you make? Well, the first thing is to figure out how to cut every expense possible out of your life. If you're upside down, if you are in debt and you're spending more than you make, you do need to eliminate every possible outgoing expense and every penny going out as you can. And then you need to start increasing your income. Start a side business. Figure out how to get a job that pays more. Do both. Start creating the gap. Start getting rid of as much debt as you can as fast as you can, and continuously focus on making more than you spend and avoiding any new debt. I want to sincerely thank you for joining me today. I know that you have plenty of options on how you spend your time, and it's an honor you're letting me help you achieve more success in your life. God bless you. Don't forget to check out the special $7 deals designed to help you achieve more success in specific areas of your life at Christian-success.com. If you want personal help achieving more success, you can find out how to work with the top Christian life, success, and business coach and consultant at Christian-success.com/coach. Have a blessed day.